Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your mid-June check-in. Sorry that I didn't post any readings for June. It was the beginning of eclipse season and I just had to rest. So here we are. But I'm back with more readings. It's general. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. Be sure to check your sun, moon, rising, and midheaven. And I'm going to start off by pulling some oracle cards. Then we'll get in the tarot and move on from there. All right, so let's see what we've got here, Sagittarius. Getting something about like fairness, wanting things to be fair, which could align with the justice card perhaps, maybe wanting some type of justice to be served. Maybe you feel like you're not at the fair end of a deal in some way. Things just aren't fair right now. And so here we have darkness, shadow, and light, and we have breathe. So right now, you could be going through a space where there are just a lot of unknowns, right? But I feel like this eclipse season is trying to show you in the best way possible that you're nearly toward the end of it. Like they say, it's always the darkest before the dawn, right? And so with this, I feel like there's a certain amount of healing that's going to be coming in. And part of it is perhaps your family is going to be helping you a little bit. Also, I feel like there's something about like the right communication is going to come in, whether it's you receiving downloads from your guides, certain epiphanies, or you're just hearing the right things at the right time. I feel like pay attention to your surroundings. If you're hearing a certain message over and over again, there's a certain theme going on in the media that you're watching, the conversations that you're having. It's offering you some type of clue or response to a question that you've been asking, I feel like, for quite some time. And if it's not quite some time, I want to say like Spirit's giving me like the past 2 to 3 weeks. Maybe it's something that's been coming up within the past 2 to 3 weeks, I guess, since eclipse season started, right? Also, I'm getting this like shooting pain up my neck right here from my shoulder. And so I feel like it has something to do about the pain of carrying on with something. Maybe that's something that you're just not quite sure how you're going to move through it. But I feel like Spirit is just wanting to say, like, rest assured, like, we're helping all that we can. And I feel like you're just in for like a slight adjustment. There could be a situation where there's going to be a huge kind of transparency moment that comes through. And I feel like for some of you, you may have like a lot of anger on your heart, be really upset about something. Maybe something needs to change or something's changing in terms of the love that you give and receive. Maybe there has been some type of shift in a relationship for some of you. Let me look into this darkness card for a little bit as well. I feel like there's something about needing to cut through something, maybe cutting an attachment. I'm also getting kind of like Knight energy, like Knight of Swords, perhaps, as well as like some unicorn energy is coming in, which is very interesting. But like Knight of Swords is just something about like an authority. And maybe you feel very unique in the realm of authority. And maybe you feel like there is no one that can really govern over you at this time right now. And so you're resistant towards certain rules and traditions, which could have you acting out in ways and embracing some shadow aspects of yourself. Sometimes we encounter challenge and opposition in order to coax that part of us to show up so we can be even more grounded and embodied in our true and authentic power. So even though it hurts, sometimes it's offering us the space in order to embrace those aspects of ourselves that we usually withhold in order to be able to maintain, like, join society, I guess is the best way to put it. So yeah. And I also feel like you may feel that there's not a lot of I feel like for some of you, like if you're receiving any kindness or gratitude or just charity or just any type of offering from someone, it may come as a bit of a pain. I don't know what it is, but it's like sometimes if someone says something nice to us and we just want to break down because we've been holding something in for so long, it could just be maybe you've been having to have like a tough exterior, been having to hold some things in. And I feel like maybe you have been shown some kindness or some gentleness that has allowed you to break through some of the tension and some of the rigidity and how you feel like you must show up. And that's allowing you a new sense of freedom and acknowledging who you are. Maybe you're getting some epiphanies about times where you've had to kind of just put on a happy face, you know, the show must go on type of energy. And I feel like you're finally starting to chisel away at some of the more hardened aspects of self in that regard. So here with the Shadow and Light card, which I'm going to bring up next, for some of you, I feel like if you do any type of ritual work, maybe you're starting to do more things at night. Maybe some of you aren't sleeping very well, and therefore you're utilizing that time in order to connect with your spiritual side or with your spirit team, or to do some type of work. Maybe even in the astral is what I'm getting. And I feel like for another group of you, if not the same group, there's a lot of cord cutting that's going on in the dream space. So you may be revisiting a lot of old spaces, old people, old situations, and being able to release some of those attachments because they have been siphoning some type of energy from you and distracting you on a subconscious level for quite some time. Kind of been leading you away from your path and your power, like I said before. It's just, I feel like this really huge reclamation that may not feel that great at first, but is really offering you more than you know at this point in time. But you're going to become more aware of it throughout the dog days of summer, I feel like. So throughout kind of like mid-July through mid-August. Yes. Now, with this card, Breathe, let's get into this. I feel like there's something about progress here. There's something about progress here and becoming more and more grounded. I feel like people are seeing you differently over time, or have seen you differently over time. I almost feel it's like I'm picturing someone going through like a yearbook or like a photo album or some type of scrapbook as I'm looking through this card. And I feel like, so some of you may be visiting family or going through some old memories. And I feel like there's something in that helps remember who you are and allow yourself space to breathe, space to relax just a little bit. It offers you a point of grounding that is soothing and allows some worries to kind of fall off your back a little bit. I feel like also going back to some of that cord cutting that I feel like is going on in the dream space, I feel like for you, you're realizing certain things about people you've left behind or people that you may have missed for some weird reason, for some odd reason. It's like they may have not been the best people or the best for you, and you recognize this, but there's part of you that kind of misses that energy for some reason. And I feel like you're recognizing how glorious you are, because you may actually be picking up on what that other person feels, which is why you're getting kind of like this psychic ping in order to sever that tie energetically. Now at the bottom of the deck here, we have Flight, which is coming up. It's something about dirty laundry. This immediately comes up because we're seeing all these sheets, of course. But I also feel like, it's almost like all of these are attached to like a goddess's dress. That's just like right off the page, right? And so you may not be getting the full picture of what's going on. I feel like Spirit just wants you to know you're about to take flight. You're not quite sure yet what's happening. You don't have the full picture just yet. And there's part of you that knows this and is frustrated, but there's also part of you that takes solace in it. On the other side, we have Fire. And so with this, I mean, it makes sense. You're a fire sign, Sagittarius. And so I think it's all about you getting back to who you are, testing out your beliefs and philosophies, basically entering a new phase of super awesomeness. But you know, goofiness aside, let me just sit with this card for a moment. Some of you may actually be going camping. Because I feel like as if like I'm laying down and I'm seeing like bats or something in the sky, or maybe it's like a lot of like release of grief too. Maybe some of you have had some people pass recently, and maybe you're getting connections to them through your dreams. That's another thing that can be coming up as well, and getting some type of closure in the dream space for some of you. It's almost like you're coming out of the cave and you're finally able to be the light that everyone sees within you. But it was like when you were in the cave, even though you were emanating this light, you still thought you were in a space of darkness, right? Felt very isolated. You were seeking something outside of yourself when all you needed to do was just keep moving forward. There's something about, some of you have a personality that is very emotional, but some of you may not exhibit that or communicate that in very healthy ways, right? Or may not communicate it at all. And I feel like there's a certain amount of responsibility in being able to speak your truth and allow your personality to shine, because I feel like there's something missing there, like there's some static or whatever. And it's like, I feel like certain opportunities are coming through for you to maybe, I feel like there's a former part of you or version of you that is reaching maturity and it's starting to come back out now. Maybe it felt unsafe for some time, or maybe you had to suppress it in order to survive and move through some of the spaces you were in before, kind of like a trauma response to some degree. But now you're regaining that part of yourself back. Now let's see what else we have going on here with the tarot. We have the King of Pentacles, the Chariot, and the Lover's card reversed. So, all right. With this King of Pentacles and this Chariot, I feel like there's a lot of having to control and manage wealth or assets. Something about really needing to take charge of the things that provide you with a certain amount of comfort. Perhaps you have been too giving in some way, shape, or form, and there's there's part of you that's like, oh wait, but I actually have to save up for this, or I need this thing that's coming up, or I need to start planning for this. And so it may have you it may create a little bit of tension around your finances for a bit. But the Lover's card is indicating like that is kind of the wrong move to start worrying now. You do have to get into that space of relaxing. I feel like there's part of you as part of that personality that I feel like is coming back up. And like with this Lover's card reversed, it's like, think back to all of the times in which you were, I don't want to say careless with your resources, but you allowed your heart to kind of guide you, and you enjoyed life in such a way where you maybe didn't plan everything out, but it always worked out in the way that it was supposed to. And it's like, sometimes it would get down to crunch time, but you would make it happen. And so I feel like there's a certain amount of you having to believe in yourself here. Let's see. And I feel like it's like you're almost kind of out of the swamp. It's like the water's getting a bit clearer. Like your emotions are going to end up lifting soon enough. But I feel like this clinging on to different things and kind of scaring yourself into needing to kind of hoard and scrape and save is not going to assist you moving forward. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. So there's part of you that's like really trying to stick to some type of plan, and it's just, it doesn't feel like it's working. And that's kind of you working against yourself. That's a little bit of self-sabotage. Because Sagittarius, we're a mutable sign. Like we kind of just like, we change our mind from one moment to the next. Like we kind of just go with the flow. And sometimes it feels really chaotic to people, and people don't always enjoy that, right? And we don't even always enjoy that sometimes, right? But I feel like there's a certain responsibility in knowing that and finding the right balance of, you know, creating a plan, but also allowing yourself space to be flexible, space to live, space to find ease, right? And to find trust and faith in oneself and the circumstances that you're in. Here we have the Sun card at the other end of the deck. And so what I'm getting from this especially is I'm thinking like peonies, like those flowers, those beautiful like thick petaled flowers. And so there's this lushness, this softness. And I feel like in order for you to feel confident, you have to also have a certain amount of comfort. And I feel like maybe that's what part of it is, but it's like, remember when you also felt confident in uncomfortable places. Is that possible for you right now? Because if we can't find confidence through moments of change, then we're always going to pick the safe route, and the safe route becomes the complacent route. And then we wake up and we're like, oh my gosh, and then we're dissatisfied because we hadn't changed anything in a while, you know, because nothing has changed. And so it's like, yes, comfort is good and great, and it's great that you learned and you regained your confidence in a safe space, but now it's time to venture out and allow yourself to shine a little bit more, to call in more. I feel like there's something that you have to initiate during this time in order to expand your influence, your space, in order for you to grow more and to have the world open up a bit wider to let you in. Right? So that is what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope that was helpful. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Check the description box below to donate, as well as to book a one-on-one session with me if you'd like to. Other than that, I will see you next month. Bye for now.